Everyone has been using it and knows about this node. It's very common. You can see that a lot in many tutorials out there. Now today, we're going to change that into something else. We're going to create our own custom UI, and then it's going to communicate with the AI agent, and then it's going to give us the reply. So the example is going to be something like this. So this is the UI, and this is the text box for the input. So I'm going to type, how are you? Now it's replying, and it remembers my name. So without further ado, let's have a look at the workflow step by step. Now, we've got a blank workflow here. So I'm going to start by enabling the webhook. So I'm going to type webhook, and the method is going to be post, and I'm going to change this into inventory chatbot. Okay, the authentication is going to be basic, and I have already created the credential. So if I click edit here, so that's going to be my username, and this is going to be the password. So the response is going to be using respond to webhook node, right? I'm going to save this, and I'm going to enable the respond. Okay, I'm going to leave it as it is, so I'm going to save it. Okay, and I'm going to execute the workflow for testing. Okay, now for the UI itself, so it's lovable, right? And so for the lovables, I have created a prompt, and the prompt is essentially to ask it to create the UI for the chatbot, and then for the communications, I'm using Webhook, and this is the basic address of the Webhook, and the authentication is the basic one, which is the username by just using the username and password. So I asked Lovable to show me where the file to store the credential is. The reason why is because I can just simply go to that file and then modify the address and username and also password. Now, if we click code, it's, well, based on the reply, the authentication file is actually here, webhook.ts. So if we go to the src config and webhook.ts, and this is what we get. So this is the webhook URL, which I have modified that for my previous experiment. And this is the password, and this is the username. So now, because we are using tests, so it's gonna be test. Okay, so I'm gonna save this. Okay, let's wait. There we go. So I'm gonna click hello. Okay, no response received. Now let's come back to the n8n. Yeah, it's actually working. So if I click this, you see that it's got the message hello, right? And yeah, and it replies with a lot of things basically, and the lovable is actually receiving it, but um it just doesn't pick the right JSON variable parameters to show that on the interface. So that's why it says no response received. Okay, now we're gonna modify this. We're gonna enable AI in here. Yeah, enable AI. So it's gonna be AI agent, and it's gonna be defined below. Now, thankfully, we have run this workflow before, so we got all the data from JSON. So I'm gonna track this parameter, which is the message, and for the chat model itself, it's gonna be OpenAI. Yeah, it's gonna be Mini. Now, this is chatbot, right? So it means the conversation flows, and you want to make sure that every time you send a message, then the system will remember your previous message. So we have to enable a memory. So I'm gonna choose simple memory instead. Yep. So it's gonna be defined below for the key. The reason why is it's an identifier, isn't it? Imagine if you're talking to someone about a topic A, for instance, and that person will remember about the whole conversation about topic A. But if you talk to another person, then it's not gonna know about what the topic A is because you essentially start a new topic. So that's the reason why I think for this I'm gonna uh choose the key, which is the origin in this case. Next time, if we create like if we have like a login feature, for instance, in our chatbot, right? So that's gonna be so the system is gonna be able to create a new ID for a user, so that the conversation is gonna be specific to a certain user. So it's not gonna spill the information from another user when we create a conversation. Okay, now now it's enabled now, and then I'm just gonna save this and I'm gonna execute the workflow. Let's go to the Lovable again. So I'm gonna say hello again. There you go. Hello, Anika. How can I assist you? Okay. Yes. Well, it knows my name because I have been messing around with this. And based on this memory, which is actually stored in the on the n8n server, it remembers anything from the first conversation, and the origin is the same anyway, so that's why it remembers. Now, if I delete this, for instance, right? So I'm gonna say hello again. What's my name? Oh, execute workflow. And I'm gonna try again. And I'm gonna paste the message. Then let's see. I don't know your name yet exactly because it doesn't have memory. Okay, so I'm gonna click this one again, and then I'm gonna re-enable. So this one is gonna be the origin. Okay. Now spell two A's in my name. First and the sixth. Is that true? Yes. So it's got two A's. It's good. Okay. This is the testing environment. Yeah. When you wanna deploy this, you want to enable the production. Now in this case, is you're gonna have to click active. Okay. Um. Okay, to make sure that. So I'm just gonna move my camera. Okay. So you're gonna click this and um make sure that the uh the address, the URLs, is gonna be in production, which is without the test. Okay, so previously when you click execute the workflow, it's gonna go to the test URL, and then this is the address for the test URL. But for the production, it's gonna be without the test. Okay, let's modify that. So if I go to the code and if I do this, so if I delete the test, then I'm gonna save this. Okay. Okay, I think it's running at the moment, right? Okay, so I'm gonna try again one more time. So I'm gonna say hello. Yeah, it's currently working. So we are not gonna encounter something like this unless there's a problem with our workflow. Okay. Um. How are you? Ah, see, it keeps remembering my name because of simple memory. Okay, so it's working, and thank you very much for watching.